All right, so let's go and I'm going to spawn the good block and the bad block. So let's go ahead and let's add a function here. We'll call this spawn block good, and we will set this as a random, we'll set it up as a random location here, okay? And you can see that there's some little item in there. Sometimes an extra key gets added in there when I make these tutorials. But that's okay. That shouldn't happen. Let's go ahead and let's say let random x is equal to int arc for random underscore uniform. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll put it between 500 and 300. The bottom number is where everything is here, and I think that probably works out pretty good. Let's go ahead and let's add that in here as well. But we'll make this random y this time, and this one will make between 500 and 150. Okay, so we have a random x and a random y. So let's go ahead and let's add in our, we'll call this good block is equal to sk sprite node, and we'll say that this is the color, and we'll go this. The good block is green custom color, or we got green custom color, and the size is block size. Now I don't think we actually set that up in here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's set that up right now. We'll call this block size is equal to CG size, and we'll make it, let's say 70 by 70. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we don't have to set it up again and again. We need to set good block dot position is equal to CG point, and in this CG point, what we're going to do is we're going to say random x and random y. So we got random x and random y. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to say good block dot name is equal to good block name. So we're setting that up here, and we're going to go to self.addChild, and we'll call this good block. Okay, now let's do this again here. We'll add in a function. We'll call this spawn block bad. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to copy this random x and random y because it's the exact same and it's just a little easier. So let's go to block bad, or bad block is equal to sk sprite node, and the color will be red custom color, and the size will be block size. One thing you can also do, by the way, is you can go to good block dot size is equal to block size, and that way if you add in your own art, the size is already set. So let's do that. Dot size is equal to block size. Okay, and then we're going to go to bad block dot position is equal to CG point, and the CG point here is going to be random x and random y. All right, bad block dot name is equal to the name is going to be bad block name. We're going to go to self.addChild, and we're going to go to bad block. Perfect. That looks pretty good. Now we need to spawn all of our labels here. So we're going to go to function. We're going to go to spawn LBL main. And in here, we're going to go to LBL main is equal to sk label node. And we'll add in a font name, and will be Futura. We're going to go to LBL main dot position is equal to CG point, and we're going to add an x and y. It's going to be CG rect get mid x self dot frame. That will put it in the middle, and CG rect get mid y, and it's going to be self.frame, and that will put it in the middle on the vertical axis, and we'll add in 250, so puts it up 250. We'll go to LBL main dot font size is equal to 50. We're going to go to LBL main dot font color is equal to off black color. We're going to go to LBL main dot text is equal to collect green blocks, and then we're going to go to self.addChild, and we're going to go to LBL main. All right, there we go, and that looks pretty good. Let's go to add another function. We'll call this spawn LBL score, and within spawn LBL score, we're going to say LBL score is equal to SK label node, and we're going to add in Futura. You can add in your own fonts here, but I like to add in Futura. LBL score dot position is equal to CG point, and that CG point is going to be CG rect get mid x self.frame CG rect get mid y self.frame, and then we're going to subtract 350, so that will put it towards the bottom. We're going to go to LBL score dot font size is equal to 40. LBL score dot font color is equal to off black color. LBL score dot text is equal to, and we'll just do the score here, and we're going to go to self.addChild LBL score. Okay, and it's missing a question mark because the autocomplete did not put that in there. All right, very close to finishing this off here. Let's add in a function called spawn LBL timer, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing. LBL timer is equal to SK label node, and it's going to be Futura. Okay, just like that, and we're going to go to LBL timer dot position is equal to CG point, and it's going to be this is going to be CG rect get mid x self.frame, and then CG rect get mid y self.frame, and in addition we'll subtract 250, so that will put it towards the bottom, but not overlapping the score. So we'll go to LBL timer dot font color is equal to off black color. We're going to go to LBL timer dot font, and we need to set the font size and make it equal 150. We can always change that later. And then we're going to go to LBL timer dot text is equal to, and in here we're going to say timer countdown. Okay, so we're just going to literally print what it is there, and we are going to subtract 2 from that, and you'll see why in a second here. And then we're going to go to self.addChild LBL timer. Okay, now let's go and go up to the top here. We'll go to spawn LBL main, spawn LBL score, and spawn LBL timer. Let's run that. And of course that's in the did move to view. So when you do move it to the view, you'll see that it does indeed work here. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. A couple changes here. So let's change the font size. I think we need to just pull it down to 45. We'll change the score to about 60, and the timer is probably pretty good. Now, just as a cool thing that you can do is in the touches began here, we can go to spawn good and spawn bad. And what this will do And we also need to set this to touch location. So what that will do is that every time we click, we'll just call those two functions there. So there we go. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're looking at here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think that looks great. One more item, if we really wanted to, we could probably make this 180 instead of 150, just to make that timer pop just a little bit more. And yeah, there we go. All right, this includes the tutorial.